Hi, this is Eric Erb from the Eric Erb Show Live. Today I want to talk to you about a very controversial subject. It's close and dear to my heart. It affects me personally or my family. It also affects millions and millions and millions of Americans all over the United States. And that's immigration reform. And I want to talk to you about that for just a few minutes real quickly. This is Eric Erb from the Eric Erb Show. You can find me online at theericerbshow.com. Find me on Twitter, twitter.com/The Eric Erb Show. And of course, broadcasting live from anchor.fm. You can make your podcast. You can start a podcast. Anchor provides you all kinds of tools, everything you need to get going to make your brand new podcast, to get your voice heard. That's anchor.fm. And best of all, it's completely free. Okay, let's get back to what I wanted to discuss earlier, and that's comprehensive immigration reform. I know it's a touchy subject. I know impeachment of President Trump is at the news front right now, and that's hot in the news, God heaven forbid. But I want to talk to you again about immigration reform. Immigration reform affects me and my family. It affects millions and millions and millions of folks throughout the United States. The system's broken. The system is fucked up. There's a lot of suggestions on how to fix the system, but nobody out there really implicates everything. Again, that's because both sides, the left and the right, are both on the take with the lobbyists, and they can buy votes in the House and, of course, in the Senate. And they can buy both sides, and that's kind of the crux of the political scheme, if you will, that's going on both sides. But the bottom line is the people, the actual people that's immigrated over here. You know, somebody asked me before, do you support immigration reform? Yes, I do. Do you support illegal immigrants? No, I do not. Because if you're illegal and you're in this country, you're breaking the law. I'm a law-abiding citizen. My family's law-abiding citizen. My relatives are law-abiding citizens that's had to go through immigration reform. We're all following the law. And I would expect anybody out there with half a brain would do the same thing. Why do you want to sneak in? Why do you want to sneak across our southern borders in Arizona, and of course the big one in California and Texas and the bordering states to Mexico? Why do you want to sneak in? Well, if you're trying to sneak in, you're either running from somebody or hiding something. That's the bottom line. Nobody will say that, but you're running away from something. Maybe you're running in fear. Maybe you're running from the Mexican cartel. Maybe you're running from the mafia down there. But there's something going on. There's some type of problem and severe issue that you would run over to another country and sneak in illegally. We have a front door. President Trump said that at the southern border. Come through, go through immigration, INS, go through the service, go through the process. They detain you. Unfortunately, that's part of the system. They check you out. They run background checks through Homeland Security, check and see if you have any criminal offenses. They're supposed to be checking to see if you have any diseases or you're carrying any diseases or bringing anything over, if you're obviously sick, if you have the flu, if you have any type of viruses or anything like that. I mean, noticeably viruses, something that's obviously, somebody's coughing all the time or they're sneezing or something. Obviously they're sick and they need medical attention. Now, I support giving sick people help because I think that we as a nation, the United States of America, being one nation under God, we should help other people. We are one nation under God. We are a leader in the world, the leader in the world, and we should always help out to the unfortunate people. I totally get that, and I totally support that. But as anything else, a lot of people know that we're like that, and a lot of people try to take advantage of the system. That's the problem. So the problem lies, as I said before, we have a broken-ass system. Both sides of the aisle of government, left and right, conservative and Democrats, Republicans and Democrats, they don't really care. They just want cheap sound bites, cheap PR, cheap publicity, whatever gets their name in the on the internet and in the news. That's all they care about. They don't give a fuck about the people that are immigrating here. I think that in order to fix the system, there's been many presidents before President Trump. President Trump's tried, and basically, just in a nutshell, he's shutting things down. Okay, he wants to build a wall. Different sections are going on in Texas and in Southern California. Different sections of wall are going up. So, is he building a wall? Yeah, but it's a very slow process. Can he build an entire wall within the next 4 years? It's possible. It just depends on if the Republicans can gain back the House. My vote would be right now is probably not, because they have to have majority in both houses in order to get things passed, and comprehensive immigration reform would definitely be at the top of the ticket. What do I really think's going on? Well, Obama, under President Obama, he let lots of people in. Okay, so fine. He let a lot of people in. Some of the people he let in, probably not very good. Some of the people that probably got through with President Trump, not very good. Some of the people, when they came through Bush's 2 terms, George W. Bush, I'm sure a lot of people snuck across, and there's a lot of people staying here illegally, and a lot of people that did come legally through the system that might not be very good people. But I think the bulk of the majority of people, some of them, not all of them, some of them are okay. But what I do think is that we need to screen the people out, and if they meet the criteria through INS, Homeland Security, we have some type of which again, they have all this on the border. They have down the southern border in Southern California, in most of the southern states, the bordering states of Mexico. They have medical treatment, and then of course you have to go through INS and Homeland Security, and of course the media and the Democratic Party. Oh, we're throwing everybody in cages. Well, if you recall, and I'm just giving you a reminder, back in the days of Obama, before President Trump got elected in 2016, Obama put thousands of people in cages. The media didn't say shit. Why? Because the Democratic Party and the media are in bed with one another. They're doing each other. That's basically what I tell everybody. They're screwing each other is what they're doing. And whatever the Democratic Party tells the media to say or believe, that's the news and the crap and the shit they'll pump out for the day. They get their talking points from the media and vice versa. So Obama put a lot of people in cages. And do I think that's the answer? Yeah, if you're a criminal and you're coming across the border, I've seen many times somebody sneaks across the border. He's been sent back to Mexico multiple times, comes across the border and murders an American. Are my first stuff like that? Hell no. Lock that bastard up if he does that. Throw away the damn key. If somebody's coming over here and they're breaking the law, and you see them breaking the law, or they come across the border and they end up killing somebody, as far as I'm concerned, the immigration officers shoot that bastard on sight. If he comes across here multiple times, breaks the law, and he's been proven he's been a murderer, he murdered a U.S. citizen, and then instead of going through the trial and being sentenced through the judiciary system here in the United States, he ends up escaping, or he ends up just being sent back with a slap on the wrist, sent back to Mexico. Hell no. Somebody like that, you take a life of an American and it's proven in a court of law, then your ass needs to go. You need to get the hell out of here. You need to check out. I just want to say that I think the solution to the problem would be, again, it would be to screen out the people coming across the border, number one, to do a more comprehensive screen, to provide more INS agents, more INS support, immigration support at the border. Number two, it would be to have a process where they're screened out, they're checked out through Homeland Security, they're checked out any medical problems, and once they pass that, we would see if they have any relatives here living in the United States. And if they meet that criteria, then why not? As long as their background checks out and everything checks out about them, then I'm all for a legal process of coming across the border. As long as you do it legally and you go through the front door. I do agree with President Trump. I don't agree with President Trump as far as just shutting things down in a panic, or shutting things down everywhere, every means to immigrate to this country everywhere, and just going in a panic. I'll give you an example. We know what happened on 9/11. We know who did 9/11. However, to go into a major panic and to shut the entire United States down, and I'll give you an example. I shouldn't say this, but I'll say this. To say ban all Muslims, I repeat, to say ban all Muslims. If something like that were to happen, you'll start chaos and you'll start a war in this country. Again, you should use discretionary action. You should use common sense and get the bad people the hell out of the United States. And if you're not causing problems and you're abiding by the law and obeying the law, then there's nothing wrong with you. And as long as you came through the front door, you should be able to stay. But if you're a troublemaker, first time you start causing trouble, you get a warning. Second time, out your pretty ass goes. I do agree with something like that. So that would be nice if Congress could pass some type of common sense law, and would be, one or two strikes. After the second strike, you're gone. You commit one thing, you get a warning unless it's a murder. If it's a murder, then out you go. If you murder an American citizen and you're over here on a green card, then out you go. We'll kick your ass the fuck out of here. We don't need you. But it'd be nice if Congress could at least adopt a common sense system to immigration reform. This is Eric Erb from The Eric Erb Show. You can find me on anchor.fm and on Twitter, twitter.com/The Eric Erb Show, and then theericerbshow.com. This is Eric Erb signing off for The Eric Erb Show Live.